Hi, this is Linda Burton
This is Joseph Burton.
with Generation to Generation.
Today's topic is nurturing relationships
Yes, it is.
between your dog and the owner,
No, try again.
parakeet and the cat. No?
Okay.
Oh, humans. Humans, that's what it is.
There you go.
Gotcha.
You got it. You got it. You
Yeah.
got it, Miss Joko.
Well, as always, we welcome our friends back to discuss these topics. Pastor James, Pastor Kathy.
Hello, hello, hello.
So nurturing relationships, pretty important.
I think so.
Okay.
I think it's pretty important.
Okay.
After you go through all of the work of building a good relationship, the natural tendency is to go on automatic pilot and just think it's going to work. Just then when it starts to wane or not be as vibrant or good as it used to be, then we tend to try to look at each other like, what happened? But the reality is, if we don't care for our relationship, just in general, if we don't care for it and nurture its growth, it tends to just not. We have these honeymoon stage. We call them honeymoon stages, and where everything is wonderful and exciting, and then we go through another stage where it just kind of calms down to just a normal day-to-day routine. And if we don't do the work, it'll stay there.
And that becomes boring. And nobody likes boring. We want it to stay healthy and vibrant. And the way we do that is through nurturing. And when we think of the word nurture, the first thing that comes to my mind is a picture of a mother with a newborn. And as that newborn grows and develops, that mother looks for ways to make sure that the child is fed healthy food so that they can grow not only in their body, but also their brain. She wants to make sure that that child understands language. So she teaches the child how to communicate. Otherwise, the child won't understand sounds and what those sounds do, because words are actually just sounds, but they carry a weight with them. Like if I say I love you, or if I say I hate your guts, that carries weight. So the mother's job is to make sure the child learns and grows and develops into a healthy, not just a healthy child throughout those formative years, but become a healthy adult as well.
Then in the adult relationship, if you're going to spend time with each other and you go through all of the skill training, and you adopt all of these skills for communication, the skills for conflict resolution, all of these 6 steps to win that we've talked about, and then you don't actually nurture the relationship, it's just like, okay, we spend all of this energy and time and we spend our life with each other, but we end up saying, is that all there is?
Right. And you grow apart, you start taking each other for granted, you start feeling like, what else is there? And there's so much more, because as we nurture the relationship, we find out that there's payoffs, if you will, or there's benefits, or there's dividends to having a good, healthy relationship, because you can actually learn just to have fun and like each other, where you're making fun of each other, or you're making fun of a particular situation that, oh, I forgot my glasses. Oh, they're on the top of your head, stuff like that, where you can laugh at one another and just have fun, because otherwise it can be to the point where you just, okay, So what else? You got anything? I don't have a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
Like-
what else gonna do?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the other day, I was looking for my keys that was in my hand. You know, that kind of thing, you know. So there are some things that are necessary to put in place to nurture a relationship, to keep it healthy.
Mhm.
So the bottom line is hear the message and then speak the truth and then work it out. Those are three foundational basic skills. Be able to hear the message.
What is that other person saying?
Yeah, what are they saying?
And
Speak the truth.
Mhm. And don't be phony, don't be false,
Yeah.
be real,
Yeah, and have the ability to work it out.
whatever the problem is that might arise. And we will have problems because life comes with its own set of
Mhm.
situations. And then we can create some situations within our, between the couple or in the home. So we need to be aware of those things because at the end of the day, everyone wants to go to bed in peace, knowing that, they've tried to make the best of a day because people wake up and then sometimes people don't. And we don't want to let that time that we've spent with that person not be of value.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, what will people say about who you are and how you affected their lives and what you added to their lives? You enhanced their lives. And I think as humans, we all strive to do something to give back to humanity.
Mhm.
And so when we do that, life becomes more fulfilling.
So there's two things that I would recommend that people understand about nurturing or taking care of a relationship. One of them is commitment, and the other one is bonding. Two basic things that need to happen. Commitment is basically an intellectual decision. Yeah, it's my
Cerebral cortex.
cortex, yeah, the one that don't grow up until it's at least 25, when we make a lot of lifetime decisions when we're 18, 19, and 20.
Yeah.
And it's not fully developed until we get 25 to 30, depending on the person. But commitment is a intellectual decision, and then a promise. It involves a promise to value. A promise to value, and commitment involves attention or intention to stay in the relationship. That's what's connected to the commitment. There's a curriculum that we teach that talks about three kinds of safety: physical safety, emotional safety, and commitment safety. And commitment safety is, I have this intention to stay in the relationship with you. Commitment to stay.
And I think about the marriage vows. When we take the marriage vows, I promise to do this. I promise to do that. And when you're getting married, that person is talking to you as an individual, what you promise to do. And then they turn to the other individual and say, do you promise? And so the commitment level has to be high, not looking for a door out or an escape hatch, like, oh, if this doesn't work, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Got to go in with the intention of, I'm going to make everything as good as possible. I commit to do my part. I commit to stay faithful. I commit to be loyal. I commit to doing all that I can for this relationship. I'm not looking for a loophole. I'm not looking for anything that's going to cause me to say, oh, it didn't work. Well, life happens. That's not it. When we are committed to one another, We're committed for the long haul. Long haul. Just like a parent is committed to do the best job they can for their child. We don't say, well, they'll figure it out one day, you know, when they're 7 and they keep, you know, doing something that causes them pain. Oh, let him just figure it out. He'll learn. There's some things that we need our children to learn by experience. And then there's some things where it's just too painful and we don't want them to not get it. So we will take the child and say, so let me ask you this. If you do this, what usually happens? And they'll say, well, I usually bump my head because I'm walking around not looking where I'm going. Okay, so from now on, what do we need to do? I probably need to look where I'm going. You know, as a parent and as a coach, those are some of the things that we want to commit to. It's like a coach with someone in sports doing the same thing. Okay, so what do you think you didn't do that you could have done differently? Well, I'm not as good with my left hand as I am with my right. So I need to use my right hand. So,
Okay, so nurturing, yeah. So nurturing a relationship requires commitment. The beginning of nurturing your relationship requires commitment, and it's commitment to value this person, and commitment to stay. That's the foundation. After commitment, then comes bonding. That's the second part of nurturing it, bonding. Now bonding happens without a decision. You don't have to make a decision to bond. Achieving certainty that that you are together in a full, reliable, long-term relationship is what starts the process of bonding. The sense of certainty that we're in a long-term, fully committed relationship is where bonding naturally begins to take place. But that won't happen without a commitment to value you and a commitment to stay here for the long haul.
In other words, to cherish you. I'm in it to win it.
Yeah. So the key, the most important thing about nurturing is basically, after the foundation of commitment, is bonding. Your intention toward the relationship. You have made a conscious commitment. Your willingness to suspend our anti-commitment defense. And what I mean by that is giving up the just in case clause.
Escape hatch.
Giving up the just in case it don't work.
I gave it my best. Shoot, it didn't work. Shoot. Oh man, I tried.
Because when you abandon that,
Have it and don't even realize you have it, like an escape plan, like.
yeah, and it is very possible to have that and not realize it because it's a part of a safety mechanism. I'm trying to protect myself just in case. I don't want to leave myself open to pain. That's a natural human process, but it kills bonding. It's like a poison that you spray that you don't see, and then the bugs come and crawl over it, and then they roll over and die. So that clause is like an invisible poison. You know, it makes you sick. It will cause us not to give our all. Will cause us not to really open up when we feel vulnerable. Because the clause is all about, I'm trying to protect myself from getting hurt.
Mm,
And when I'm doing that, I'm not really fully committed.
mhm.
I'm committed to a point.
And that's not really
And
commitment.
that's not really committed. Okay. And so the other thing is all of these, then with that in place, the other thing in nurturing our relationship is all of the stuff we've basically been talking about over the year. All of that stuff, just bringing it back to our mind, bringing it back up, refreshing ourselves. Are we doing this? Is this working?
Mhm.
How do I get this to work? Okay, what I'm doing is I'm remembering what I think I know.
Remember?
We had a lineman, when I was a lineman with Edison, we had these old salts. We used to call them salts. What they were just boomer linemen that had been linemen for years.
Mm.
And they were blown out, but they've been linemen for years and they knew all the stuff that you needed to know
To stay alive.
to stay alive. And the foreman would give us the plan, and then the boomers would say, so do you understand all you know?
In other words, do you get it?
And they had this habit, Joe. If you said no, I don't quite get this, they would go to the water
Fountain.
well, it was a jug,
Okay.
water cooler, and they get one of these paper cups and have everybody be standing around, and they would draw you a picture of what you're supposed to do. And it was really embarrassing to all of the new guys because it meant you don't know what you're doing. But the reality is that little cup would save your life.
Right. Yeah.
That was the reality.
Mhm.
And it became, so what's more important to you, living or being embarrassed?
Mm. And in a man's world, that can, especially for a physical job like that can be embarrassing. But at the same time, like you said, do you want to really understand and know this? Or do you want to maybe lose a limb?
So what I do is I have a lot of little papers of different things, concepts that we've taught. I'll print them out, especially major concepts. I'll print them. And every now and then I just take these sheets of paper and just look through them and look through them and look through. What I'm doing is refamiliarizing myself with what I think I know. So I can do what I think I know how to do so that our relationship stays good.
And healthy.
Uh-huh.
And Joe and Linda, this is probably why you want to have James and I come on, because we've had success in our relationship. And the last thing we want to do before we leave this earth is to feel as though we left something that someone else can remember, to keep them from maybe making mistakes that they weren't even aware of. Because sometimes we do things because we just don't know any better. But what we can do is just kind of help people refamiliarize themselves with the vows that they took or the commitments that they've made with one another. And this helps because all of us just need to remember, like everyday stuff, drink more water, exercise. If you want to live longer, if you want to be healthy by the time you get our age, these are some things you just need to do.
Yeah, so we have to find things that we engage in it together. Activities, those kind of activities.
And sometimes I might have something that I want to do, and he'll say, "Oh, let me just ride with you." Same thing with him. He's going to the Home Depot, and I'm like, "Oh, let me see what's in the plant section." I'm not into tools, but I might want to look at the plants. So we just, because I like you.
I like you
And
too.
because I like you, I want to
hang
be
out
around
with
you. Because when I'm with
around
you,
I feel
good
better about me.
Who said that?
You?
I need to write a book.
Yeah.
Linda, I need to write a book. You're gonna have to show me how to write a book.
Okay.
Mhm. And then the other thing in this is just living through crisis and
Mhm.
hard times and stuff that have really been hard to deal with.
Mm.
Living through that and being able to look at this person and said, you was there for me
Mm.
when we went through this. That's critical, and
Mhm.
remembering
Mhm.
this person was with you.
Mhm.
They was there for
Mhm. History.
you. Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
good history.
Mhm. Mhm. So that begins to nurture the relationship. It begins to make it go back to the almost the honeymoon stage, because you understand that this is important. This person has hung out with you. This person has been there with you. You understand that, yeah, they're committed. Yeah, I'm committed, but they was there. They were actually there. That's what's important. That's what's important. That starts to change the feelings. The feelings come back around.
You and me, baby.
Yeah, you want to kind of hang out together.
Mhm.
You know, a good exercise is take a trip to Santa Barbara in your car and turn the radio off and talk. For some people, that's a good exercise.
Not for everyone. For some people, it's like turn on the radio. It's too quiet in
Too
here.
quiet in here. We don't have, that's too long to go. We can't talk that long.
Oh boy, yeah, yeah.
So the honeymoon stage is coming. It'll come and it'll go. That's in all relationship. It comes and it goes. The point is, when you feel it going, become
Bring it back.
intentional about bringing it back.
Mhm.
It's important to recreate the honeymoon feelings in your relationship, especially those at home and those that are significant in your life.
Mhm.
It's important to do that. And that quite often requires moving past the routine of the norm, and doing something different.
Mhm. Discovering things together,
Mhm.
discovering new restaurants, discovering things about yourself
Mhm. Mhm.
and about one another.
Yeah. So one thing that is important to do is just come up with some ideas as a couple. What are some different things that we haven't done? Some things that we haven't done together that would we can use to become the in it together exercise. What are some things we can do? The thing with nurturing a relationship is the major thing is to become intentional about it. Being intentional about doing it. And quite often, if we stay outside of the honeymoon stage too long, we get comfortable out there and we don't want to do it.
Mm.
And that is a indication that we're going in the wrong direction. Ultimately, we'll come to a place where we have, I call it the fork, where I want to let this go and move on with my life. And the problem with letting it go and moving on with my life is I've spent all of this time, I've invested all of this time with you. And half of what's wrong with me is me, not you. And I take me to somebody else and start this process again, thinking they're going to fix me. They're the answer to my problem, and they are not. I am my problem, not you.
I wouldn't call you a problem.
If I'm having one,
Oh, okay.
it's not you, it's me. You know, and so if I'm making my relationship a problem, it's really me. So nurturing it is really important. It's really important to nurture our relationships and keep them in a place where they're really really tight, really good, really healthy, so that we have this, what is it? Care, cooperation, and closeness, caring, and cooperation. It's one of my
The three
papers.
Cs.
That's one of my papers. When I'm going through it, that's one of my papers. Caring, closeness, and cooperation. Another one of my papers is hear the message, speak the truth, work it out. Another one of my papers is empathy, acceptance, and genuine. See, you know, it's just important. It's important to develop not just for our experience in life, but also for the experience and the benefit of other people that's looking and watching. They may never say anything to you, but they're watching you. Whether it's your kids, whether it's somebody on your block.
Someone in your extended family.
Yeah. Yep. Hopefully this has made sense.
And we always, and sometimes we fail to do this, but we need to give credit where credit is due, to Patty Jones, who wrote some of what the material that we're using. She wrote some of that. And we don't want anyone to think that, you know, we're just all that bright and beautiful and we have all this intellect.
Oh,
What we have is experience, and what we've learned is that these skills actually work. They actually work.
I'm the guy with the keys looking for them. That's who I am.
Or I'm the one who's asking where are my glasses, and they're on top of my head. And you know, to find humor in that, you know, rather than say, are you crazy? What's wrong with you? Don't you know your glasses on top of your head? Okay, thank you, but could you have said it with just a little bit more sugar? You know, wouldn't make me feel like an idiot. So one of the things that we need to learn how to do is have these conversations with one another and make sure that our conversations are laced with sugar and not with salt or acid. Because relationships can become very toxic quickly if we don't learn how to or know how to say things in a way where we're not damaging that person, where we're not causing them to feel like, wow, that was really hitting me below the belt. You know, I'm wondering, have I done something, or are they not in a good mood, or is it me? What have I done? And when you've been married as long as we have, sometimes nothing needs to be said, but you can just sense, you can look at the person's face or their eyes or their language, not their language, their body language, and sense that something is just a little off. That's the beauty of a good relationship. You know, you don't have to say anything, but you know they're not where you'd like to see them or where they would like to be.
Yep. So that's basically nurturing a relationship,
Taking care of
each other.
Very nice. I don't have much. I don't have any questions.
Oh,
wow.
Well, all right.
Okay.
All right.
So do you want us to continue talking, or what? I mean, because we're about out too, you know.
Yeah, not a lot to be said about it, but it is very important. Very important.
Well, it's been enlightening, as always. So, wow, nurturing relationships, yeah. Capital R. Well, do you have any final thoughts?
No, I think it was great.
Okay. So once again, thank you, Pastor Flowers, or Pastor Kathy, Pastor James,
Okay,
You're
well,
more than welcome.
thank you for the opportunity.
for teaching us and helping us learn. So once again, say to the viewers, if you have any questions or comments, please post them below. You can always give us a ring or send information to our email address. If you have where can they reach us? In the email address. Well, it's somewhere out there. You just reach out and grab it.
Reach out and touch somebody's hand, make this a better place. If
You're-
Staymarried@gmail.com.
So yeah, the email address is findingstaymarried@gmail.com.
I'm not laughing at you. Remember,
this is a man that had his keys in his hand and he's looking for 'em.
Yeah. And the surprising thing is they didn't make any noise. So the keys didn't make any noise. So
oh no, I'm holding them. Where's my keys?
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, all being human. Yeah, so
It's all good though.
yeah, it's all good. So we thank you again.
You're more than welcome.
Until next time.
All right.
And what do you guys always say at the end of your broadcast?
We want your life to be good.
good.
Thanks, you guys.
Bye.
All right.
You're welcome.
Take care.